Beautiful. So welcome back for our final session of the program. So we are really into the wrapping up and closing up point. So if you open your workbooks again, there is a final reflection question, except that I'm adding to it. So it's a final set of reflection questions. So it's the question which says, the question which again reflects the hour of the night in which I finished writing this workbook. What are the most important things I have learnt here, and what am I taking forward? Just ignore the extra word that exists in that sentence. But also, this is what I'd like to add on, is also how are you going to take it forward? So I want you to think about a little bit like an action plan. So if you think about what's the most valuable things that I have learnt, and you are intending to take it forward, what's that going to look like? So if you found the Qigong the most valuable thing that we've done, maybe that looks like I'm going to keep practicing my favourite Qigong. Or if it's, the communication with nature was really valuable to you, maybe you would write, when I face a challenge in my life or in my projects that I'm involved in, I'm going to remember to go to nature and ask those questions. Yeah, that'll do for now. And then I'm going to add on one little bit. So if we can go around the circle again, that'll be useful. Just because I like my left, starting with my left. What are you taking forward?
We were just having conversation with Cynthia this over lunch. So, but anyway, let me start with the self. There's many things to take forward from here. A way of being that I need to embrace more frequently. That's the way in deeper conversations to get answers and so on. So yeah. That's at personal level. But then at work level, there are conversations that need to be had along the lines. We may have to forge ways in which there can be more meaningful ways to have these kind of conversations for the projects or work that I am involved with. Yeah.
I've enjoyed how relaxing all the meditation is in times of stress. It's really revitalizing. It's been really good.
Great. For the past 3 days, I've been learning a lot about boundaries and asking permission and things related to boundaries and consent, and that's what I'd be taking forward.
For me, what I've been learned here and bring forward to myself is continuing on respect for not only the people around but for the nature, because the nature also gives us life, right? Other than that, willingness to be acceptance with nature. And
I really appreciate the beauty part. One thing that I would like to be a bit more conscious about is relaxation, and just figuring out how I can relax in different spaces and times. Practicing consciousness and awareness, not just with the mind, but also with the middle and the lower, like the gut instinct or how the heart feels. And the last one I wrote here was walking barefoot on grass. Yeah, reminds me of when I was a kid. Yeah.
For me, the relaxation practices for sure life-changing, crazy. The breathing one in particular, like it's something that's been drilled into my brain for so long by remembering to take like breaths, but like you just second guess it in the moment, because I think the breathing, and also like the open heart meditation, because I think it really helped me to kind of understand the value of surrendering. Surrendering to the present moment around you instead of trying to control it or ignore it, and responding accordingly instead of responding from a place of like fear or control. So yeah, relaxation, guys.
Yeah. So for the last closing, you know how at the end of the fire that tried to encourage everyone to do that, like, you know, celebratory exclamation point at the end? This is what this solo is kind of meant to be about. So when you go out to your site, it's about art or creative expression. You can use it as sort of like a reflection, help you process like the things that you've learned. But you can also use it as like just having fun, making it a joyful experience to see what you can co-create with nature at your site. So it's all about, it can be simply about like beauty. Can you co-create something beautiful with your site by the way that the leaves are arranged? Or it might be creating something sort of symbolic that's sort of like a giving back, you know, through creating something that symbolizes everything that you've got from your solo times and the experiences with your site. That in the creation of that art, it's a gift for nature to be able to appreciate what you've been given. So quite often I've heard a few teachers say like nature really appreciates when we create things because we have hands. And other beings of nature can't make things like we can. So it's seen as a gift when we can give back through our creative efforts. Also, it could be a song, like you could come out with a tune or some words that help celebrate and bring through even maybe more meaning to your time in nature. So whatever your medium, you don't have to have any skills. It's just letting yourself be creative to celebrate and give back to your site. That makes sense. And whatever else also feels right for you to do. So this is your last solo time at your solo site. So when the cooey comes, you want to feel like you've like wrapped up with your site and, you know, said the things you need to say and closed off the energy. Sound good? Good. If you make something that stays at your site, maybe even like take a photo of it so we can see. That'd be nice.